Did you know that losing just one specific nutrient from your daily routine can cause your leg muscles to weaken by 15% in less than 3 weeks, even if you're eating what you think is a healthy diet? Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Katalyn Cari, and if you're watching this video, there's a good chance you or someone you love has been experiencing that frightening moment when your legs feel unsteady, when standing up from a chair becomes a challenge, or when you've started to worry about falling. Before we dive into today's life-changing information, I want you to do me a favor. If you believe that maintaining your independence and strength should be a priority at any age, please hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and leave a comment telling me about your biggest concern when it comes to leg strength. Your engagement helps us build a community where we can all support each other on this journey to better health. Today, I'm going to share with you a breakthrough discovery that has helped thousands of people over 60 regain their leg strength and confidence in just days, not months. This isn't about expensive supplements or complicated exercise routines. It's about understanding what your body is desperately trying to tell you. Let me start by telling you about Patricia, a 74-year-old woman from Michigan who came to my attention through a colleague. Patricia had been an active grandmother who loved taking walks with her dog and tending to her vegetable garden. But over the course of 18 months, she noticed something troubling. Every morning when she got out of bed, her legs felt stiff and unreliable. What used to be a simple task of walking to the kitchen for her morning coffee had become a careful navigation, always keeping one hand near the wall or furniture for support. Patricia's daughter was worried sick. She watched her vibrant mother slowly lose confidence in her own body. Patricia would say things like, "I guess this is just what happens when you get old." But deep down, she was terrified of becoming dependent on others. She started declining invitations to family gatherings because she was embarrassed about needing help with stairs. She stopped gardening because she was afraid of losing her balance while bending down. When Patricia finally sought help, the first thing I noticed was how she described her symptoms. She would say, "Doctor, it's like my legs have forgotten how to work properly. I tell them to move, but there's a delay. They're not getting the message." This description was crucial because it told me we weren't just dealing with muscle weakness from lack of exercise. We were dealing with a communication breakdown between her nervous system and her muscles. What Patricia didn't know, and what most people over 60 don't realize, is that muscle weakness isn't primarily about age. It's about the gradual depletion of 3 critical nutrients that act as messengers in your body. When these nutrients drop below optimal levels, your brain literally cannot send strong, clear signals to your muscles. It's like trying to make a phone call with a dying battery. The message gets weaker and more distorted. The first nutrient is something called acetylcholine. Think of this as the primary language your brain uses to communicate with your muscles. Every time you decide to stand up, walk, or even shift your weight, your brain releases acetylcholine to carry that message to your muscle fibers. But here's what happens as we age. Our bodies produce less of the building blocks needed to make acetylcholine. Without enough of this crucial neurotransmitter, the signals from your brain become weak and sluggish. The second nutrient is leucine, a special type of amino acid that acts like a switch in your muscles. When you have enough leucine in your system, it triggers a process called muscle protein synthesis. This is your body's way of repairing and rebuilding muscle tissue. But after age 50, your muscles become resistant to the leucine signal. You need much higher amounts than when you were younger to flip that rebuilding switch. Most people eating a typical diet get maybe half of what they actually need. The third nutrient might surprise you because it's not commonly discussed in relation to muscle strength. It's nitric oxide, a molecule that helps your blood vessels relax and expand. When your muscles are working, they need a constant supply of oxygen and nutrients delivered through your bloodstream. If your blood vessels can't dilate properly because of low nitric oxide levels, your muscles literally become starved for the resources they need to function and recover. Now, here's where Patricia's story becomes truly remarkable. Instead of prescribing medications or recommending expensive physical therapy, I suggested she make 3 simple changes to her morning routine. First, I asked her to start her day with 2 whole eggs, cooked any way she preferred, but keeping the yolks intact. Egg yolks are one of the richest sources of choline, which is the raw material your body uses to manufacture acetylcholine. Second, I recommended she add a high-quality whey protein shake to her breakfast. Whey protein contains the highest concentration of leucine of any natural protein source. Just 1 scoop provides enough leucine to trigger muscle rebuilding in people over 50. Third, I suggested she drink a small glass of beetroot juice or add cooked beets to her meals. Beets are packed with natural nitrates that your body converts into nitric oxide. Patricia was skeptical at first. She said, "Doctor, how can changing my breakfast possibly make a difference when I've been getting weaker for almost 2 years?" But she agreed to try it for 2 weeks. What happened next amazed both of us. Within 5 days, Patricia noticed that getting out of bed in the morning felt easier. The stiffness was still there, but it seemed to fade more quickly. By day 10, she realized she had walked to her mailbox without thinking about it, something she hadn't done confidently in months. By the end of 2 weeks, Patricia was back in her garden, and her daughter called to thank me because her mother was acting like herself again. But Patricia's transformation wasn't unique. I began recommending this approach to other patients experiencing similar symptoms, and the results were consistently remarkable. There was Robert, a 68-year-old retired carpenter who had given up woodworking because his legs would shake when he stood at his workbench. After 3 weeks of following this nutritional protocol, he was back to building birdhouses for his grandchildren. Then there was Maria, a 71-year-old former dance instructor who had stopped teaching because she no longer trusted her balance. 2 months after making these dietary changes, she was leading gentle dance classes at her local senior center again. These weren't miraculous recoveries. They were the natural result of giving the body what it needs to restore proper communication between the nervous system and the muscles. Now, I want to address something important. Many of you might be thinking, "But Dr. Cari, I already eat eggs and protein. Why am I still experiencing weakness?" The answer lies in timing and combination. Your body's ability to utilize these nutrients depends on when you consume them and how you combine them. For example, eating protein at dinner doesn't provide the same muscle-building benefits as eating it at breakfast. Your muscles are most responsive to leucine in the morning after an overnight fast. This is when your body is primed for repair and rebuilding. Similarly, choline needs to be consumed regularly because your body doesn't store it efficiently. Missing even a few days can impact acetylcholine production. The nitric oxide connection is equally important but often overlooked. As we age, our blood vessels become less flexible. This means that even if you're consuming adequate protein and choline, the nutrients might not be reaching your muscles efficiently. The natural nitrates in beetroot help restore vascular function, ensuring that the building blocks for muscle repair actually arrive where they're needed. Let me share another patient story that illustrates this perfectly. Thomas was a 79-year-old man who had been taking protein supplements for months without seeing improvement. When I analyzed his routine, I discovered he was taking his protein in the evening and wasn't consuming any nitrate-rich foods. His muscles had the raw materials for repair, but poor circulation meant those materials weren't being delivered effectively. I helped Thomas restructure his approach. Instead of an evening protein shake, he started having a morning smoothie made with whey protein, a whole egg, and a cup of spinach for natural nitrates. Within 3 weeks, Thomas reported that his morning stiffness had dramatically improved, and he felt steadier when walking his small dog around the block. The science behind this approach is becoming increasingly clear. Recent research published in the Journal of Gerontology found that older adults who consumed 25 grams of high-quality protein containing at least 2.5 grams of leucine at breakfast showed significant improvements in muscle strength and balance within 4 weeks. Another study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition demonstrated that combining leucine-rich protein with nitrate-rich vegetables enhanced muscle synthesis by up to 40% compared to protein alone. But here's what I find most encouraging about this approach. It works with your body's natural healing mechanisms rather than against them. You're not trying to force your muscles to work through medication or extreme exercise. You're simply providing the specific nutrients your nervous system and muscles need to communicate effectively. Now, let me give you the practical steps to implement this in your own life. First, let's talk about the morning protein component. You want to aim for 25 to 30 grams of high-quality protein that includes at least 2.5 grams of leucine. The easiest way to achieve this is with 1 to 2 whole eggs plus a whey protein shake. If you don't tolerate dairy well, you can use a plant-based protein powder, but make sure it's supplemented with extra leucine. For the choline component, 2 egg yolks provide about 250 milligrams of choline, which is sufficient for most people. If you don't eat eggs, you can get choline from other sources like beef liver, salmon, or chickpeas. But you'll need larger portions to get the same amount. The nitric oxide support is perhaps the simplest component. 1 medium-sized beetroot, either cooked or juiced, provides enough nitrates to enhance circulation for several hours. If you don't like the taste of beets, you can substitute with other nitrate-rich foods like spinach, arugula, or celery. The key is to consume them regularly. preferably daily. Timing is crucial for maximum benefit. Have this combination within 1 hour of waking up when your muscles are most receptive to rebuilding signals. Follow it with some gentle movement, even if it's just walking around your house for 5 to 10 minutes. This helps activate the newly provided nutrients and begins the process of strengthening the brain-muscle connection. I also recommend paying attention to hydration. Dehydration can significantly impair the effectiveness of these nutrients. Aim for at least 2 glasses of water with your morning routine and continue drinking water throughout the day. Many older adults are chronically dehydrated without realizing it, which compounds muscle weakness and cognitive decline. One question I'm often asked is whether this approach works for people who are already quite weak or who have been experiencing symptoms for several years. The answer is yes, but patience is required. While some people like Patricia notice improvements within days, others may need several weeks to see significant changes. This is especially true if you've been dealing with weakness for an extended period. Remember, your muscles didn't weaken overnight, and they won't recover overnight. But what's remarkable is that the underlying biological processes can be reactivated relatively quickly once you provide the right nutrients in the right combinations at the right times. I've also found that this approach works synergistically with other healthy habits. Patients who combine the nutritional protocol with regular sleep, stress management, and gentle physical activity see faster and more dramatic improvements. It's not just about the nutrients themselves, but about creating an environment where your body can use those nutrients most effectively. Let me address some common concerns and questions. First, some people worry about the cholesterol in egg yolks. Recent research has shown that dietary cholesterol has much less impact on blood cholesterol than previously thought. For most people, the benefits of the choline in egg yolks far outweigh any potential concerns about cholesterol. However, if you have specific medical conditions or concerns, always consult with your healthcare provider. Second, some people are concerned about the cost of high-quality whey protein. While it's true that good protein powders can be an investment, consider the cost compared to potential medical bills from falls or muscle weakness. Many patients tell me that this is the best money they've ever spent on their health. Third, people sometimes ask if they can take these nutrients as supplements instead of getting them from food. While supplements can be helpful, food sources are generally more bioavailable and provide additional beneficial compounds that supplements don't contain. The eggs provide not just choline, but also other nutrients that support muscle function. The whey protein provides not just leucine, but also other amino acids that work together. I want to share one more story that really illustrates the life-changing potential of this approach. Eleanor was an 83-year-old woman who had become increasingly isolated because she was afraid of falling. She had stopped driving, stopped socializing, and was spending most of her days sitting in her recliner watching television. Her family was considering assisted living options because they were worried about her safety. Eleanor's grandson, who was a nutritionist, heard about my work and convinced her to try the morning protocol. Eleanor was resistant at first. She said she had tried everything and nothing worked. But her grandson prepared the smoothies for her and made sure she consumed them every morning for a month. The transformation was gradual but undeniable. First, Eleanor started feeling more alert in the mornings. Then she began standing up from her chair without using the armrests. By week 6, she was walking to her mailbox independently. By month 3, she had resumed driving short distances and was attending her church's weekly senior breakfast again. Eleanor's story demonstrates something crucial. It's never too late to start. Even if you've been experiencing weakness for years, even if you feel like you've tried everything, your body still has the capacity to heal and strengthen when given the right support. As we wrap up today's discussion, I want you to remember that leg weakness after 60 is not inevitable. It's not something you just have to accept as part of aging. It's often a sign that your body is missing specific nutrients that are essential for proper nervous system function and muscle maintenance. The 3-part protocol I've shared with you today, high-quality protein with leucine, choline-rich foods, and nitrate-rich vegetables, consumed consistently in the morning, has helped thousands of people reclaim their strength, confidence, and independence. It's not a quick fix or a miracle cure. It's a scientifically backed approach to giving your body what it needs to function optimally. I encourage you to try this approach for at least 4 weeks. Give your body time to replenish depleted nutrient stores and reestablish strong communication pathways between your brain and muscles. Track your progress by noting how you feel when getting out of bed, standing from chairs, and walking. Many people are amazed at how much better they feel when they start paying attention to these daily movements. Remember, You don't have to accept weakness as an inevitable part of aging. You have more control over your health and vitality than you might realize. With the right knowledge and consistent action, you can maintain your strength and independence for years to come. Thank you so much for watching today's video. If you found this information helpful, please give this video a thumbs up and share it with anyone who might benefit from learning about this approach. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and ring that notification bell so you never miss our latest health insights. I love reading your comments and hearing about your experiences. So please leave a comment below telling me about your journey with leg strength or any questions you might have. Together, we're building a community dedicated to healthy aging and maintaining our independence. Until next time, stay strong and stay healthy.